Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will dive into footprinting and reconnaissance, the first step in ethical hacking. You will learn what footprinting is, why it's important, and how attackers and security professionals gather information about a target network before an attack even begins. What is footprinting? Footprinting is the process of collecting as much information as possible about a target network for identifying various ways to intrude into an organization's network system. Let's move on to footprinting purpose. So this explains why footprinting is done during the reconnaissance phase of cybersecurity assessment. The first point says no security posture. So footprinting helps an attacker or a tester understand the target organization's external security exposure. What systems, services, and information are visible from the outside. The next point says reduce focus area. Instead of attacking everything, footprinting narrows your scope to specific. So you can narrow it to specific IP address ranges, networks, domain names, remote access points. The next point says identify vulnerability. So it allows the attacker to identify vulnerabilities in the target system in order to select appropriate exploit. Exploit here is a piece of code that takes advantage of a vulnerability in an asset. I've defined what vulnerability is. I said it is the existence of a weakness in an asset that can be exploited by a threat agent. The last point says draw network map. Draw network map. Information gathered is used to map the network structure. So here it tells you how systems are connected and exposed, helping the attacker choose the most effective attack path. Let's move on to objectives of footprinting. Collect network information. So you can get information such as domain name, internal domain names, network blocks, IP addresses of the reachable systems of your target network, TCP, UDP services running, VPN points, and many others. The next point says collect system information. So system information such as user and group names, system banners, routing tables, system names, passwords, and many others. And the last point says collect organization's information. So information such as employee details, organization's website, company directory, location details, news articles, press releases, and many others. Let's move on to footprinting methodology. So these are the various methods that you can perform footprinting. So you can perform footprinting through search engine, right? So you can use some search engines like Google, Bing, others to perform footprinting. You can also perform footprinting using Google hacking techniques. So here we use advanced Google operators, search operators such as site, link, cache, file type, and so many. So we use tools such as I said, the Google hacking database, MetaGofill, SiteDigger, and many others. You can also perform footprinting through social networking sites. So here, You can just go into the target social media handle, Facebook, LinkedIn, and so many to see if you can get some information from there. We also have website footprinting. So we use tools like HTTrack, Website Copier, Black Widow, and many others. We also have what we call email footprinting. So we use tools such as the Email Tracker Pro. We have what we call the Polite Mail and many other tools. We also have what we call competitive intelligence. So here we use tools like Woovers or Business Wire and many others. We also have what we call Who is Footprinting. We use tools like Smart Who Is, and then we have tools like Domain Dossier and many others. You can also perform footprinting using DNS, where we use tools like DNS Stuff, DNS Records, and many others. We also have network footprinting. We use maybe trace route techniques. So normally I use the Path Analyzer Pro for my network footprinting. You can also perform footprinting through social engineering. So social engineering here is the act of convincing people to reveal sensitive information. So we have what we call the dumpster diving. We have what we call the shoulder siphoning and many others. So these are other additional tools that you can use to perform footprinting. Now, this concludes our overview of footprinting and reconnaissance. Understanding how information is collected is essential for identifying weaknesses and strengthening security defenses. As always, these techniques should only be used ethically and with proper authorization. Subscribe for more cybersecurity lessons, and I'll see you in the next video.